The day that he passed away, we were meant to be shooting a music video.
How old was he when he died?
31.
Well, that's too young.
We will get into how Jamal Edwards passed away towards the end of this video and pay tribute, but I wanted to get into his incredible story in this video as well.
SBTV, UK's leading youth entertainment station.
Jamal is the man behind SBTV, an online music channel, and the face of Google's latest TV advert.
What are you doing filming me?
He started with a camera his mum had bought him and now employs a dozen people, and was here to tell the politicians that things need to be made easier for young entrepreneurs like him.
At the age of 15, Jamal Edwards received a video camera as a Christmas gift from his mother. This sparked a journey into creating content and starting to film freestyles from his friends and local grime artists in Acton, West London, where he grew up. SBTV, once known as Smoky Bars TV, was founded by Jamal Edwards in 2006 when he was just a teenager. The first ever video uploaded to SBTV was MC Souls and Slides, filmed during a college trip to Cadbury's chocolate factory in Birmingham. The video was raw and became SBTV's signature for future content.
We got Smoky Bars, we got Slime, we got My Man. Alright, now hear what you don't know about me. It's these always on my KMC.
Before you know it, SBTV became a pivotal platform for UK grime rap and other genres. It provided a space where artists could showcase their talent outside of mainstream. Appearing on TV was the only way to get your content seen, and this was a good platform to have on YouTube.
SBTV.
Ed Sheeran, Stormzy, Skepta got some of their earliest exposures through SBTV, which have gone on to be some of the most successful artists out of the UK, period.
And you'd known him since when? When did you first meet him?
When I first moved to London, really, I was sort of like this struggling up-and-coming musician wanting anyone to take me seriously, and no one was taking me seriously because I was like fat, like scraggly ginger hair, I had a tiny guitar, and I used to rap and beatbox, and everyone kind of saw me as a joke. And Jamal put me on his channel, which at the time on YouTube, which at the time was like the coolest channel to be on. And as soon as he put me on, everything started falling into place. My manager found me, my record label started getting in touch, and I was living at his at the time. With the first day we met, I didn't have anywhere to live, and I just moved in at his.
They had many different freestyle series over the years, but one of the main ones was the F64 series, where MCs would be challenged to perform a 64-bar freestyle in one take. This format became a milestone for many artists and a form of an appointment viewing in the community, significantly boosting the profiles of the participants.
With F64s, it's like it's a stamp on your career. Do you know what I mean? It shows, all right, cool. Benny Banks got one, Blade Brown got one, Young Teflon got one. So it shows that, all right, cool, these man, it's what road rap is made of. Do you know what I mean? Like they created a mold.
And it's something that is so simple, but so incredibly intelligent at the time for someone of his age. Just had a camera. I thought, you know, actually, let me go and film some of these people. Because there's a demand for it. People wanting to be seen on camera and so on. So he actually is responsible for a lot of careers right now.
The channel helped shift the narrative around UK rap and grime, moving it from pirate radio and local scenes to a broader and more of a digital audience, pushing up and coming artists forward. From just chasing around artists and doing raw freestyles, SBTV began to become more of an established company, making actual music videos, and ventured into SBTV News in partnership with the Press Association, filming documentaries and anything relevant to the culture, even leading on to having an interview with Prince Charles and politicians at 10 Downing Street. Jamal Edwards had the world at his feet, and SBTV became the place to be, and even the BBC were paying attention to this, interviewing it.
I really think it would be what it is now, like sitting on BBC Breakfast with yourself. It's like, I don't really think it would.
It was just a dream back then, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was kind of like a passion. I had a passion. I really like filming people and kind of letting them voice their opinions on my platform. And
the thing is, Jamal, what I can imagine that there's quite a lot of young people who think, well, I do that. I've got my mobile phone and I can film my friends rapping. You get a lot of clips like that on YouTube. What was it that you did which turned it into a successful business rather than just someone messing about with a load of friends and a camera phone?
I guess I was consistent with it, and I had a niche. So I'm not going to lie, there's probably 1,000 other people that are filming as well, but I did it in a different way and I was consistent with it, and it was like kind of more original, and I never tried to get complacent. I could have got complacent at 100 million views and said, alright, I've made it.
Actually, in 2014, Jamal Edwards was awarded an MBE, a Member of Order of the British Empire. In 2014, Free Services to Music. The platform itself became recognised for its role in youth culture, music, entrepreneurship, and influence in a generation of artists and media creators.
Early on in the game, it was just from my bedroom, and that was my office basically. So like, if I knew about these kind of places earlier, it would have been much more helpful as well. But I think it's just about getting the information out there, transparency, because there's not a lot of it around at the moment.
SBTV continued to rise across the next couple of years, but by 2017, SBTV faced a lot of competition from newer digital platforms like Link Up TV and Grime Daily, which is now GRM. Them platforms were both around for a long time as well, but beginning to compete to get the top talent on their platform with SBTV the biggest. Some of them even paying artists to come on their platform, and SBTV had lost a lot of its talent, but it was still up and coming artists appearing on its platform. SBTV had slowed down, but also they had ventured out so much. SBTV Fashion, SBTV Games and Gadgets, SBTV USA, SBTV Comedy. He created numerous channels and was trying to expand. That gave them other platforms like Link Up TV and GRM an opportunity to come up, whereas Jamal Edwards was focused on many different things.
I got to a certain level and I was like, oh, I want to film something else. I want to film like different stuff, because my mum was a very musical person, so I was listening to all sorts of stuff. When I go into labels, it's like, nah, they didn't really want their artist on SBTV. It was like either too grimy or urban or too underground. And I had to keep believing that I'm gonna try and like get the big ones. So I think Kaylee Rona was my big first kind of out of grime interview, and off the back of that I was able to go into label and say, look, I've done Kaylee Rona, why can't your artist do it?
Despite being an entrepreneur, Jamal Edwards was very selfless, so just followed his passion and was creating content he liked to create. He was never obsessed about competition or being the biggest.
So obviously you're building a successful brand, a successful business, but surely there must be, without mentioning any names, there must be people out there, competition, who don't like what you do. How do you deal with that kind of competition?
I'm going to say one thing to this question, and that's it. I'm chasing my dream, not the competition.
And that's it.
That's it.
Okay, fantastic. So I want to say thank you, Jamal.
Jamal Edwards was mainly known for SBTV, but there was lots of other stuff he was doing. He also launched a 8 Bars app in 2021. The app was aimed to discover new music talent, a sort of modern day SBTV. Jamal Edwards has a charity called the Self-Police Trust. He done a Google Chrome advert in 2011. SBTV was featured in the Google Chrome ad showcasing the platform was influenced. He partnered with the Department of Education to promote apprenticeships among young creatives. On mental health awareness, he worked with The Guardian on a documentary about male suicide in 2017, raising awareness for mental health, especially in the music industry. In 2014, he designed a headwear collection for Top Man, reflecting his personal style and influence. He done various fashion ventures. He was involved with brands like Primark, Burberry, Puma, and featured in campaigns for Hermes and featured in other campaigns. Books and education, self-belief, division, how to be successful on your own terms, released a book in 2013 aimed at inspiring youth and entrepreneurs.
And a thing where I was only filming people in West London, but then I started branching out and going all over the country, and stuff like that kind of keeps me on top of the game.
And what are you doing now is you're sort of trying to give people some guidance, because there's an awful lot of people who are a bit like you at school, you know, not doing that great maybe academically in that sense, and maybe thinking, I don't know what I'm going to do, or you know, it's all looking a bit gloomy. And you're trying to give them a little guidance now.
The kind of book, the whole ebook thing was kind of, loads of people said they wanted me to write a book, and see, that's another thing which is different. I never thought I'd write a book, and basically it's kind of an interactive business challenge peppered with my own life story, my successes, my mistakes, and I just trying to give back and hopefully inspire a lot of people, and don't let them think that just because, obviously work hard to get your GCSEs if you can, but it's not the end of the world if you don't get what you required.
He was a speaker at schools as well. He became a director of Radical Media in 2021, producing content for brands like Subway, and was even directing music videos such as Ed Sheeran's Bad Habits remix featuring Tion Wayne and Central C, and the Peru remix for Ed Sheeran. Jamal Edwards is a hardcore Chelsea fan and also got a dream of working with the club. He appeared on the Chelsea TV official TV channel and interviewed Chalabar.
What's going on, my guy? Cool, man. Good. Yeah, all good, man. Let's go. But now I got asked to do this. I'm normally the man behind the camera, innit? But I was just like, yo, I got to do this.
Despite having all these things going on, Jamal Edwards, towards the end of his life, picked up another skill, actually learning to DJ himself to perform at shows.
No matter what you do, you always have got to have self-belief. Even if your parents don't believe in your idea, there will always be doubters that try and say you can't do it, even the closest ones to you.
Saturday night, February 19th, 2022, Jamal Edwards performed a DJ set at Bubba Oasis, a bar in Islington, London. After the DJ set, Edwards returned home to his mother's house in Acton, West London around 4:30 a.m. He was with a close friend and they continued to socialise, consuming alcohol and marijuana. But then there was a behaviour change. Shortly after arriving home, Edwards' behaviour began to change. Friends described him as becoming paranoid, anxious and increasingly irritated. He started throwing things around the room, which was uncharacteristic behaviour for him. His friend Nick attempted to calm Edwards down, but he became more agitated, refusing to allow windows to be open, and eventually Edwards collapsed near the bathroom door. His friend and uncle tried to perform CPR on him. An ambulance was called by his mother, Brenda Edwards, after finding him in distress in the bathroom. Jamal Edwards was taken to hospital, but despite best efforts to resuscitate him, he did not regain consciousness. Edwards was officially declared dead 10:36 a.m. on February 20th, 2022. Jamal Edwards' mother, Brenda Edwards, publicly confirmed that her son had been taking recreational drugs before his death, expressing that she was in a state of shock upon learning this. August 2nd, 2022, an inquest at West London's Coroner's Court concluded that Edwards died from a cardiac arrest following cocaine use. Assistant Coroner announced that there was evidence of cocaine in Edwards' body, which led to cardiac arrhythmia and ultimately his death. The coroner officially ruled the cause of death as drug-related. So many people paid tribute to Jamal Edwards, even Ed Sheeran filming an F-64 in Chelsea Football Club stadium.
Because that was always Jamal, SB to the crowd. They used to shout your net worth, but they don't mention it now.
The club themselves put him in their community champions section and donated $1 million to Jamal Edwards' self-belief charity to help up-and-coming creators.
Right. Jamal absolutely loved Chelsea. It meant everything to him.
Oh, so good to see you. Isn't this like the most inspiring place on earth? It's really good to... Oh, hello, baby. Oh, it's good to be back here again. We're so excited about what you're doing with your own trust. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Well, we set up the trust after Jamal's passing. We're going to house 4 young people from underrepresented backgrounds. We've launched paid internship programs for young people. And then we're also working on a self-belief community hub to bring the community together to give back to the community.
We're such big fans and believers of what you're doing. So the Chelsea Foundation wanted to make a donation of £1 million to the trust. And we want to at the same time enter into a partnership with you for the next 5 years. We want to work together on making the world a better place, I guess.
This is amazing.
And we've got another surprise for you too.
I can't go.
And here it comes. So that you know.
Oh my God!
I feel like this is your life.
Jamal led everyone to believe in themselves by following their passion.
Empowered everyone, instilled self-belief in everyone that he met.
I guarantee you there'll be hundreds of people that he would have changed their life.
Where's Jamal's seat?
This is a good seat, isn't it?
I know he's watching and he's over the moon just as much as I am.
His mother did say that there was a plan for businesses after he passed away, and many people have uploaded to SBTV since Jamal Edwards' death. And just a year ago, Ed Sheeran kept it alive as well, doing a great British bar with another legend of SBTV, Devlin. One of the best projects I've seen is an AI video, one of the first to do it, of Debtsman, a rapper that was a legend of SBTV, being uploaded to the channel, an AI music video to raise awareness on knife crime, which his mother helped put together and posted on SBTV.
When everything ended and it tore my family apart. Before the night we went to remember, bro, when I died to a blade in the heart. Growing up it weren't easy, but there weren't many kids like me. And when the kids in school had parties, not one time did they invite me, never did like me.
But Brenda, his mother, is a strong woman and said Jamal Edwards actually did have a plan if he passed away what to do with his different businesses.
Just coming up to say, I just wanted to come up and say that Jamal was such an important part of my life and he did this for me. That in itself must be so comforting for you.
I mean, yes, that was overwhelming, all the people with all the messages, people coming up to me that I don't know, strangers saying how that Jamal helped them. We're so grateful for all of those messages of support. As much as they were hard, and reading those messages and, you know, having a cry, But at the same time, it meant a lot to me that I knew my son made a difference to so many people.
I was surprised that he'd left you what he wanted you to carry on with and instructions and...
Yeah, I mean, I only found this out obviously after he
passed away, yeah.
With all the businesses that Jamal was running, he had to do that, and it was a few years ago, and I was glad to get that instruction from him.
Can you imagine if he hadn't?
He pretty much thought of everything.
He even left clear instructions on what he wanted for, we call it funeral, you call it homecoming, which is homegoing, which I love that. It's so much nicer than funeral.
He wanted Luton to be involved. He wanted Chelsea Football Club to be involved.
Of course he did.
And music was a big thing for him. He was born in Luton. We went back to Luton and had his homegoing service there. He had a blue and white theme, which I'm sure he looked down and he was like, come on. It was beautiful. And
everyone wore blue and white.
Everyone wore blue or white.
Yeah.
The music was there. He had live entertainment there, and it was just really, really lovely.
Jamal Edwards' mother is a legend in herself and had cancer through her life. Jamal Edwards, not long before his passing, was saying how proud of his mother he was and how she's been cancer free. She herself is a well-known personality and singer within the UK. It's just nice in his story to see that he definitely got his flowers while he was alive. There is a nice picture in his area that's been put up. A project was made and he got to take pictures beside it. Jamal Edwards is definitely a legend, an icon in the scene, and changed the game in many ways that people didn't even notice. There's so many stories from artists. This guy did a lot in the public eye, but a lot for people outside of that as well.
Jamal was someone that I spoke to when I didn't want to do this anymore, when I didn't feel like, you know, being told that you're a great singer was enough. Like, it often wasn't, you know, and I would phone him and he would just remind me of, I mean, I met when I was 17, just remind me of the bigger picture and just his energy and the fact that he talked himself into every room and then talked about everyone else. You know, you felt his power when the world found out he had gone. Everybody was sad, even people that didn't know him, because his legacy, that's been a word that's been used a lot with him. It's funny because the biggest legacy that I think however many businesses he started and things he invested in and platforms he created to elevate everyone else, it was the feeling that he gave people. To me, that was his legacy.
One thing that is for sure, Jamal Edwards may not be with us right now, but definitely will outlive a lot of people in his legacy. Already in schools, friends of his are putting his message across to kids that they can do big things if they have self-belief.
Jamal Edwards was just somebody, as cliche as it does sound, had a big goal and a big dream. When he was your age, what he did was just pick up a camera and start filming pretty much some of his friends doing music. One of those people at the time was Ed Sheeran. Jamal Edwards, he's all about self-belief. You don't just naturally have confidence or naturally have self-belief. What you do is you build that up through action. He's one of the first ever people to really build a music channel. He built SBTV into pretty much a £10 million business. Then he had likes of Ed Sheeran who blew up through his channel. But last year, unfortunately, he passed away in his sleep. He was one of the most successful young entrepreneurs out there, and he did it in a way nobody else thought was possible. Everybody thought the only way you can make money was like Richard Branson. But then this young man who pretty much had nothing but a camera managed to build a multi-million-pound business.
Ed Sheeran himself is one of the biggest artists on the planet, and Jamal was influential in his journey and his career becoming the success it was, and Ed Sheeran does give him credit for that.
My best friend Jamal dies. Loss, it just took over my life. Every time something massive happens, I tend to write a song about it.
I want to finish this video by saying myself, I reached out to Jamal Edwards when I was making YouTube videos at the start and said, just watch your interview with Ross Kemp. You're mad inspiring. Love to work with you one day, bro. I got a lot of stuff I want to do and ideas. And he just said, thank you, I'm all ears, man. But I never got the chance to do anything with him. Rest in peace, Jamal Edwards.